Hello and welcome to the channel. Today we are here to have a look at something a bit different, a bit quick and a bit sleek. This is Hunton, so not the normal stuff we see, very much a boat for going places quickly. As you can see, very minimal beam. We'll have a quick walk forwards because this is all about getting you from A to B. Very minimal foredeck, little porthole you can see here, very minimalistic railings, grab handles on the front, access and escape hatch and illumination for the fore cabin, and then right at the very front, let's go and have a quick clamber aboard. There is, right at the sharp end, a couple of very stylish inset cleats, port and starboard side. In here is the anchor locker, so chain down there, and then tucked away in here you have the windlass, and pointing right out the front, the anchor runner and the chain. Let's just drop that back down. If I stand right here, it gives you a really good idea of just how sleek she is. Just head back and we'll go and have a look inside. But that is one incredibly sleek boat. Look at that. So obviously twin out drives, as you would expect. Minimal bathing platform, but it does give you quite easy access. A couple of stainless engine hatches and a tow eye for the skiing. And then obviously this, under all these two sun pads, is engine access, and we'll have a look at the engine access on the way out. Deck shower, so you can wash yourself off after you've been swimming. Again, beautifully inset stylish cleats here. Grab rails and also probably tow rails. These will probably stop you sliding off when you're going along. You walk through the centre line on this teak, and that gives you access to 4 seats. These little tables here both fold out. That takes you forward then into the helm position, helm station, which we'll come back to in a moment. Little storage bin in here, storage bin, drinks container, call it what you like, and turn around, and then you can see that sun lounging area. So these two seats obviously both face forward, but they've got folding backrests, so you can drop them both forward like that, and then they become sort of head restraints or headrests for whoever's lying out on the back over the engine hatch. Those back forward. So this is one of the fold out tables, so that pops up like so, and then that gives you eating, drinking, somewhere to put your tea or your beer or your glass of wine or your G&T or whatever you fancy. And cleverly then inside there is some storage for fenders and the like. There's another folding table over this side. Let's just drop that down. And then under these seats here are a couple of storage bins, and then access under that hatch to your fuel gauge, fuel sender. And under this one we have access to the battery master switches, trips, and then a 240 socket and a 240 trip for the shore power. And again, exactly the same as before, a little hatch down there which gives you access to your fuel senders. There's more storage underneath there as well. Take a look forwards. So being very much a sports boat, these are the sort of seats that you don't really sit on, very much you stand in them. As you can see, there's a bolster here, so you can fold that up like this and sit on it if you want to, but you're way more likely to be standing in that, wedging yourself in between these two bolsters whilst you steer this rather rapid gazelle through the water. So twin engines, so twin keys, Usual selection of switches, twin rev counters as you would expect. Then in here we have a Garmin Echo map, so a GPS navigator, 2 fuel gauges for the 2 fuel tanks, and then matched gauges here. So we've got pressure, temperature, trim, and then battery voltage for the 2 batteries. Looks like there's a decent selection of trim tabs on there. Engine neutral switches, and because it's an EDC engine, it's got the Volvo Penta electronic gear selectors on it, and there's an ICOM VHF radio down there. Good old-fashioned binnacle compass and a long pointy bow. So there you go. So let's have a quick look down below. To get down below, you'd slide this door across. So let's go and have a look. So the door slides across as you would imagine, and that then gives us access to the cabin. Now, not surprisingly, because of its slender girth, it's not massive. But this boat, as I mentioned before, is designed to get you from A to B. But it's really nice. So there is a galley unit this side, which you want to have a look at. The head on the starboard side. Some very nice cream leather seating in here. And then this effectively is the forward berth. It's got a lot of the canopies and bits and pieces in, so obviously there's a full canopy with this one. But the idea is it's a permanent berth up there. There's a little bit of storage either side. There is ventilation overhead from the forehatch that we looked at on the foredeck. Stereo system. Technically there's storage. Yeah, it looks like there's storage under those seats potentially, but not a lot. And then this is the galley unit. So there's a couple of cupboards underneath here. And then under this side, we have a twin burner gas hob. And under here, very large, deep stainless steel sink. The little fold out tap. What's quite neat is actually fold that back and it gives you a little bit of extra work surface. Let's put that back before I forget. Fold that back over, and then behind here, a couple of decent sized storage cupboards. And there are those little round portholes we looked at for ventilation. Another storage cupboard here, and then behind us we have the switch trip panel. So you can see battery voltage, which is surprisingly low. Obviously water tank's not turned on, and then you've got all the trips for bilges, cabin lights, water pump, water tank, that sort of thing, shower pump. If I then take a step all the way back here and imagine I was in the forward berth, that gives you an idea of the size of the cabin looking forward. Cupboard over here, little cupboard in there for coats and life jackets and like. And then on this side we have a door that takes us into the heads. Not quite standing headroom if you're my height, so I'm just under 6 foot. Good old-fashioned manual pump action loo. Little cupboard down there, and then a little sink here with a shower that then drains, as you would imagine, out through, pump out over the side through the floor. A little bit of side window ventilation, but what looks quite nice is actually this entire section here comes out to give you really good access to the back of the dashboard. So that is the interior and the heads. Let's go and have a quick look at the engine bay. And you can see down here we have a pair of Volvo Penta CAD 44 EDC engines. It's a straight 6 24 valve units. A couple of battery boxes over there. I guess they're probably engine start batteries. And then over the far side over here we have probably what is a domestic battery. You can see the right at the back there's a ram to the trim tabs. Reservoir bottle there for the trim tabs. And down below us here there are fuel water separator Raycor filters, and then down there looks like there is a battery charger of some sorts. But I would imagine that this is a pretty quick boat with these engines. I'll put the figures in the details below for the performance. So there you go. Hope you've enjoyed the tour. Do please like and subscribe, and I look forward to seeing you next time on the channel. Thanks for watching.